This is my Zamboni device. It has been running for 11 years. Actually, it's closer to 12, 12 and a half. Some of you may notice that when you look at the 5-year video and compare it to today, it looks different. It does. The reason is that the old suspension of the swinger was a Kevlar thread, and completely unknown to me, Kevlar thread, after a lot of years, will actually stiffen up. And since the driving force of this device is only about 2/billionths of an amp, that stiffening was enough to prevent it from working and stop it dead in its tracks. So I had to replace the suspension with my standard needle and sapphire watch crystal held up by a magnet. That doesn't have the wearing out issues that the Kevlar will. And so for me, it was a far more effective thing to do so that I wouldn't have to change again in the future. Even though I think the Kevlar actually looks a little better. But what do I know? In any case, this has been running for 11 years now. This was the first of my successful devices that I ever made. It was the culmination of 9 years of work. And unfortunately, I am not the skilled scientist that Giuseppe Zamboni was. I'm just trying to copy it. And even my copy took probably longer than he did to invent the thing. This is the plaque I put on that just says that it was first started in 2011. And this is the side of the batteries where the two are shorted together. Some of you wondered if my hideous camera work will be present. Well, I'm pleased to let you know it is. And some might even say it got even worse. Hooray for me. In any case, the two terminals are shorted out by just a standard piece of wire, nothing special there. These are sitting under the Zamboni device, so they don't show up as clearly as I'd like them to. Later on in the video, I actually have a bit of film that just has the one. This is the other side. This is where the positive and the negative terminal are. They both run up to the device. You can see it sitting up above it and cause it to swing. And so far it's been swinging for 11 years, and my guess is it'll swing for probably a couple hundred more. There are those of you who don't believe that. I won't be around in 200 years to call me a liar, so there. This is the battery itself. This is one of the two. You can't tell, I showed it a little later, but you can't tell that it's filled with epoxy completely to provide an insulating barrier from one terminal, from one battery to the next. This is the end of the battery showing the terminal and the two nuts that secure the wires that go to the device. Yes, more bad camera work, thank you. This is the actual end of the battery. You can see the two screws holding it on. Now, actually, the epoxy holds it on. And the bolt goes through, you can barely see the edge of it, it's actually a quarter. And then the quarter pushes against the individual battery cells. And I tightened it up to provide the necessary pressure to connect all of them together. You'll notice that black mark there. It's just a mark for me to remember which way it was connected. And you can see the bubbles in the epoxy. I'm not very good at putting epoxy into tubes. It's actually harder than you think it is. And some areas may not even be epoxy coated. It looks like they are. This is the hole that I originally drilled to fill the epoxy using a hypodermic needle. And the problem was to fill it without hitting the edges of it and having the epoxy seep in between the quarter and the first individual battery. Fortunately, on this one, it did work, and it came out pretty nice, I think. Over the 11 years, there has been some voltage drop. I'm not terribly sure how much, because unfortunately, originally I didn't have a good electrostatic voltmeter to read the voltage. I do now, but I didn't then. So now I can tell you that the voltage is pretty certain to be about 450 volts, which is for this battery low. I know it used to be higher, but like I said, this is my earliest design. It was the first one that worked, and I just keep it because, well, it was the first one that worked. In any case, the battery, you can see all the little epoxy bubbles in it, and there are two of them together which make the little device go. And I was thrilled that the autofocus kept autofocusing every time the swinger turned. That was annoying. But it uses actually the case from a Kondo clock, but it was brass, and so I like that, and it looks pretty nice, I thought. And hopefully it'll go for another couple hundred years. Unfortunately, I probably won't be making videos for that time. The likelihood of me surviving quite that long is, well, not that good. In any case, just wanted to show my 11-year anniversary video, and hopefully you are amused by it. Thank you very much. Have a good day.